Today we'll be discussing the first above-ground organization in history to worship the big evil himself, the Church of Satan. It all sounds pretty sinister, right? It all sounds very sneaky, but I wouldn't make any harsh judgments just yet. Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Culty. My name is Mayfield, and today we'll be discussing the Church of Satan and the guy who established it, Anton LaVey. Before we get started, I do need to make a disclaimer that this video is for educational purposes. The beliefs of this group are not my own, and I don't mean to insult anyone that I speak about. Also, as usual, if you have found yourself in a cult and are seeking assistance, I've put some helpful links in the description. As usual, here's a shot of my outfit for today. My beret is from Angelic Pretty, my dress is from Innocent World, my socks are from Metamorphose, and my shoes are Bodyline. Now that we've got all of that out of the way, I'll pour the tea and we can get into it. Okay, let's go. Oh, also, I've been getting some very sweet comments lately, so I'm going to start putting the ones I like the most up here at the beginning of each video, put y'all in a little spotlight. Is this fun? Do you like this? Okay, let's go. If you asked a random person on the street what a member of the Church of Satan does, you'll probably get an obvious answer like they worship the devil. While technically true, there is more to the philosophy of the Church of Satan than worshiping some big evil deity. In fact, any member of the Church of Satan will tell you with resounding resolve that being a member of the church is not about devil worship. It's about living an uninhibited life that rejects the traditional Christian notions of resisting sin and primal urges. Satan is, in effect, a symbolic middle finger to Abrahamic religions. The Church of Satan was designed to be a counterbalance to the religious dogma that in their eyes plagues humanity. The church was founded on the belief that all religion is a manufactured construct rather than something crafted by a divine being. In other words, they believe that religion is a theological pigpen, designed to contain the sinful desires of which we are ashamed. Their philosophies take a pragmatic approach to human living, and they have great appeal to people who favor rational thought over blind faith. Members of the Church of Satan are, in essence, atheists. Or, as Magus Peter H. Gilmore says in his essay titled What the Devil, Satanists are atheists who keep their own healthy ego as the center of our perspective. Most members of the Church of Satan maintain that they don't actually believe in a real devil. To them, Satan is a symbol of dissent against the powers that be. Per the Church of Satan's website, to us, Satan is the symbol that best suits the nature of we who are carnal by birth. People who feel no battles raging between our thoughts and feelings. We who do not embrace the concept of a soul imprisoned in a body. He represents pride, liberty, and individualism, qualities often defined as evil by those who worship external deities, who feel there is a war between their minds and emotions. The Church of Satan does have a primary house rule, which is that they are a mutual admiration society. Basically, what this rule boils down to is respect each other. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Members of the church ultimately believe in themselves. The Church of Satan website maintains that since Satanists understand that all gods are fiction, instead of bending a knee in worship to or seeking friendship or unity with such mythical entities, he places himself at the center of his own subjective universe as his own highest value. So now that I've given you guys a little background on the church, let's talk about the church's structure, because it is actually very organized. Church membership is a structured hierarchy, with 6 levels defined as membership degrees. Level number 1 of this hierarchy is just being a registered member, which means you have no degree. But for a one-time registration fee of $225, you do get a crimson embossed membership card, which apparently you must produce if you want to meet up with another member of the church, which sounds like it's more of a safety thing than anything else because you want to make sure you're meeting up with the right people. Level number 2 is being an active member or a Satanist in the first degree. Like in the first level, we had no degree, and now in the second level, we have first degree. For level number 3, it means that you're either a witch or a warlock in the second degree. Level number 4 is that you are a priest or a priestess in the third degree. Level number 5 is that you are a magistra or a magister in the fourth degree. And level number 6 is that you are either a mega or a magus in the fifth degree. I think that's how you pronounce that, I'm not super sure. There are also members of the church that are defined as agents. Agents are active members of the church that serve as contacts to the local media. Misinformation in regards to the Church of Satan philosophies is rampant, and as such they require many agents who will set the record straight whenever they can. And not all publicity is good publicity for the Church of Satan, as they discovered in the 80s and 90s during the Satanic Panic. The church's members of the 3rd, 4th, or 5th degrees also make up the priesthood of Mendez. Mendez? These members of higher rank are seen as spokespeople for the church and are expected to be well versed in church philosophies. At the very top of the Church of Satan's hierarchy is the Council of Nine. This group of individuals is found within the priesthood of Mendez that I mentioned earlier, and they are appointed by the high priest or priestess. Members of the Council of Nine govern the Church of Satan's organization as well as its endeavors. Per the website, membership in the priesthood is by invitation only. The old truism, if you have to ask, you can't afford it, is certainly highly pertinent to our priesthood. Words to the wise, do not ask, how do I become a priest? Goodness gracious. Oh, I don't think I would do a good job anyways. I don't need to go, it's fine. In the beginning, the Church of Satan operated what was called the grotto system, which is basically just local chapters of the church across the United States. Grottos were seen as a means by which individuals in geographic proximity form an association for ritualization, socialization, and the pursuit of various projects. So basically, the grotto system was formed to create a sense of community amongst its members. Leaders of these local chapters were called grotto masters, which sounds kind of cool and swampy. And to be a grotto master, you would also have to obtain a charter that would be renewed annually. However, the grotto system was abandoned in 1975. It was revived years later very briefly, but then it was ultimately disbanded once more. Per the church's website, the grotto system has been phased out. It has become irrelevant by contemporary means of communication. I don't think the satanic panic was in full swing by 1975, but maybe they just felt it was too dangerous to gather in person. I don't know. So now let's move on and start talking about the origins of this church. The Church of Satan's official foundation date is April 30th of 1966. This day is also known as Walpurgisnacht, a Christian celebration day for Saint Walpurga, who is remembered as a merciful missionary during Charlemagne's wars of the 8th century. Like any Christian holiday, however, there is a pagan holiday that preceded it. In the case of April 30th, it was a feast day that saluted the impending fertile springtime. On Walpurgisnacht, people all across Europe spend the evening attempting to drive away evil spirits and witches, with circular dances around big fires and loud noises made by whips, drums, and guns. And all of this still goes on even today. On the flip side, Satanists celebrate this holiday as a day when spirits and witches flood the natural world, therefore making it a very appropriate day for founding the Church of Satan. The Church of Satan actually began as a small group of occult enthusiasts who would attend Friday night gatherings at the home of one Anton LaVey. He was tired of Christianity killing his buzz, so he decided to formulate an organization that would openly mock the established religious orders. LaVey's early church activities were just subversions of Christian ceremonies. He would conduct black masses, say the Lord's Prayer backwards, hang crosses upside down, that kind of thing. He claimed he wanted to create a religion where people could just be themselves and have fun. A place where people could unleash their true natures guilt-free. He did most of this to enrage Christians who he viewed as hypocrites. Ultimately, you could call the Church of Satan a benign cult, because the Church of Satan, while a cult, is benign for the most part. Because every group has some bad apples, but it's not like a purely destructive cult like the Manson family or the People's Temple. Anton LaVey possessed the same raw magnetism and untamable ego as all those other cult leaders. He was able to attract a horde of followers, and he still influences Satanism to this day. In my next video about the Church of Satan, we're going to talk more about Anton LaVey and his life and how he organized the church. I don't know if the Church of Satan video is going to go up next week. I might actually have to post something else next week. We'll find out. But if not next week, then the week after for sure. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, guys. I really appreciate it. Once again, please hit like and subscribe because I'm still just a new YouTuber and it really helps me out a lot. I'll see you again next week, okay guys? Bye! Oh, thought my teapot was gonna explode. There's dust in this cup, and not all publicity is good publicity. Oh gosh. I just realized my little cookie plate was backwards and you can't see the pretty pattern on the cookies. Get a load. They're beautiful.